right. I've called a meeting to order of the road committee. So we've got two, and one is last minute, but I have two um, things to talk about today. The first one's gonna be old business, and that is the 2026 LRA. So we have a grant valued at 1.184 million, and the roads that have been identified for repair, the estimates came back at 2.495 billion. Which so we need to make the roads kind of better fit the grant. So
So there's no required match?
no required match on the LRA. And so and that was one reason I wanted to provide some of this stuff, estimates to you, so you can kind of see the beginning, the ends, and where the numbers were falling. Because the first one that came up, if you look at, there were two that were high, just based on sheer length, and that would be Ben Giddens and then Nicholson Carr Road. Those two alone equal more than the grant. And I wanted to kind of talk about those, and also some of these other ones. If we wanted to, we if we decide to move something off this list, then we can direct it to be on the next list, and that's something we're going to get into next. So that said, the first thing I want to do is talk about Nicholson Carr Road, because the condition that I have written, and I think you agree, is that the issue starts at Highway 257 and is kind of mitigated once it crosses over Macedonia Church Road.
Correct.
So we could actually make the change there and deduct, some of the mileage there. And if I'm not mistaken, if you look at the mapping and some of the estimates, what it appears is that we want to begin, when we had the estimated, it began at Highway 257 and ended at the Blakely County line, which give or take is about 3/4 of a mile from Macedonia Church Road. So we're not going to take off a lot, but we'll take off some. But we also have an option, and it depends on what you think, that we can do it in sections. So we don't have to do 257 all the way to Macedonia. We could do 257 well, I guess we do have to go to
That
Macedonia.
is Macedonia.
That is
Church
Macedonia. I
Road.
think, for some reason, I was thinking Chicken Road, but yes, that is Macedonia.
Once you hit Nicholson Carr on the other side, I mean, you're talking 1 mile.
Yeah.
Max.
So we can
So
change.
it'll take a mile off.
So we can change the scope of that to end at Macedonia. And I can send it over to him and have him deduct that.
Yeah, that would be
road
my
mileage.
recommendation on that. I was hoping that that's what you would say, because from Macedonia to the county line is not, there's no holes in the road. Like,
No.
it's bad the other direction, really bad.
Yeah.
It's in bad shape.
And also between Macedonia and Chicken Road, there's not hot traffic right there.
There's not.
On that little short piece between the two. But that's my recommendation as well, is to have that reduction.
I think people are right now, particularly, they're missing their turn, and they're turning on that road and then turning on the Chicken Road and
Yes.
going out to 126 to go to Dublin or to go the other direction.
I think you're absolutely right. And the only concern I have there is if we get this paid within this year, hopefully my goal is to have that bridge done, but just in case it is not.
So we're thinking the bridge probably will open until what, January?
I think they said originally November.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking. 8 months, and when they close down, March, April.
they close it down on Carrie's birthday. It was April 6th.
So it might be November, December is what I recall. But you never know what they run into, weather days, things of that nature. But with the heat, Bad Concrete should be doing pretty good. But I'll submit that change. All right, so the Pine Bluff Road repair, we had that in there. We didn't know a value of it, but after talking to the engineers, you'll notice it's not in the estimates. Because he said, hey, that bridge would be a project all to itself. And it's not that the bridge is in bad shape, it's what, we had a tree fall and break an old, it's one of those that had kind of the, what remind me of picket fences almost, but it had the concrete pieces on it, and the top one is cracked. And so that's the only thing wrong with it. There's no stability problems. It's just, it looks bad. So I mean, that's all that one really is. And that did come into us, but I mean, we could do a project for repair, but unfortunately the companies that we use typically have, such as Scruggs, Grady, they don't do bridge repair. So we would have to find a company that does.
Wonder if there's a different liability for bridges.
I would imagine so. But as far as all of the bridge inspections that on county maintained bridges, the only issues we typically see, we see a little bit of sinking, some erosion, and then always you won't have grass management, vegetation management. But so that was not even that will not be applied for on this project. That gets us down to some of the other roads that we talked about, and all of the other ones are typically roads that, like say Kelly Farm Road, Evergreen Church Road, are roads that they are currently in aggregate course surface, and the time has come where we can actually pave them. We have compaction. Not heard a lot about about Evergreen Church Road as far as those live on. Usually the biggest people I hear from there is Reverend George Llewellyn. That's his church, so he will call and say, hey, we like a paved road. Well, it just so happens that Kelly Farm Road has that same issue. We've graveled it past. There's a church on it, and I've gotten feedback from the pastor and then members of that church. They want that road paved. They would like that road paved. And it's going to go from Highway 165 to the church driveway, and that's as far as we go. Once you get past that, then you get into farmland. So, and there.
And I might have looked at the wrong area, because when I was looking at it, I only saw one building in that whole stretch of the road.
Yeah. So when you turn up, there's one house, and there's a church kind of offset into the woods a little bit, and so that's all that's on that road. But the roads themselves are in fine shape. I mean, other than they're just gravel roads. So
seems to be this tendency that people who have a church on the road thinks the road should be paved, at least to the church. Now, that was something that started years ago, right? But we're talking way back.
yes,
I feel that way about cemeteries as well.
yes. So that's accurate. So
But see, my little brain thinks you want to do it when you've got a lot of population and it's getting a lot of use.
that's what I'm saying.
Daily.
I agree.
I completely agree with that too.
So I think what happened is years ago, a commissioner or single soul, whatever, somebody said, I don't know who it was, it was on years ago, that I was told said, we're gonna pave up to every church.
That's correct.
That's not something we inherited
No,
to do.
I agree.
I'm not disagreeing or agreeing. I'm just sharing with
Right.
you some little.
Well, the
background
feedback I have
information.
gotten from this.
That's what causes people to think they expect it to do that.
Oh, I completely agree. And look, we know why they did it back then. That's how you reach the most amount of people that were voters. The issue,
Oh.
so the issue that we're running into now though is, and you're right, so that program was started in the 1960s. The feedback I'm getting from these two particular roads from the congregation members is race oriented.
I see.
And so that's why, because some were, some weren't. They want to be treated fairly, that kind of. So
The first two.
the first two roads on this list, yes. And
How does Brian feel about it? That's his district.
well, Brian hadn't commented one way or the other.
Did he make this request?
No, this was request from the public. Brian has not made a lot of requests for any aggregate core surface roads. To the contrary, he has said no to a lot of some of those. And then because he knows what happens. The only one that I know that is approved to be done is, Edwin Burn Road.
They don't even have a page to the Friendship Baptist Church.
No, it stops there.
And there's a lot of
This,
people on
you know, that was one of the things. So Friendship was, one of those, cause we graveled it. Friendship Church Road graveled it. You know, I had that,
I rode that road the other day. I was like, it's kind of rough.
do you remember the old Ben Giddens at the end from Gum Swamp, like on the trends to, Chester Highway? Remember how that kind of asphalt, it was roof shingles and just whatever recycled asphalt material they had? That's how Friendship was done. It was the same project. So it was kind of rough. So what we did, we cut it up and put,
Yeah, Ben Gibbons
Gravel.
was my friend in high school. You know,
Yeah.
she'll whip it on Ben Gibbons to get to school every morning.
right.
Ben Gibbons needs to be done. Big-
Big Giddens itself.
Yeah, Ben Gibbons needs to be. That's a highly traveled road.
Ben Giddens gets a lot of traffic
Yeah,
used by, I mean,
a lot.
regularly, as well as big trucks.
Yeah, you're not gonna get me to say that Ben Gibbons definitely needs to be done. That needs to stay on here.
Okay, so Big
So I didn't
Giddens.
understand why it was blank. You don't know how to fix it.
Asphalt. It's asphalt. So,
It's like some magical thing you haven't told us yet. You want to explain to us before you write the word
No,
down.
oh, yeah, that's all that was.
Yeah, I agree that Ben Gibbons needs to be done. Ben Gibbons is highly traveled.
I agree.
Yes, it's almost like
Your
should be a
whole
state
chest
road or something.
Yeah, it's highly traveled.
Oh, absolutely.
It was for years. I assume it still is.
They've been very patient about that road and they're trying to get it done. But we got the tail end of it done, so that was great.
And I-
Ben Giddens continues on across Chester.
That's right.
So,
And then I would say Jessica Lane needs to stay, because that has been requested for some time.
so it needs to be done.
I think Jessica Lane
Okay,
is.
that's what I was gonna ask you. What's the oldest request on
Yes.
here?
Now, the other, so free gift, has it's been agri-core surface for probably a decade. And the request has come in to put pavement on. Now-
I couldn't find it.
So is that a highly traveled road? Is that another?
So, I won't say highly traveled because it is agri-core surface, but there are, it's off of Edna Moore Road. So it is, you remember where Dan Wilcox used to live?
I do not.
So the easiest way is, you know, Edna Moore Road, which is MLK. We go around the sharp curve where the Danners live,
Okay.
and it's the only dirt road to the right. You've got some houses there.
Off of Rocky Spring.
Um,
No.
Free Gift runs, it runs from Studstill
Isham
Road.
Springs,
Free Gift. Eastern Springs crosses it.
Studstill Road.
Yep, Studstill Road is where it ends.
So it's between Studstill and Isham Springs.
So the part I want to pave is between, or has been requested to pave is between, Isham Springs and the Moore.
So is it Free Gift Church Road or
It is.
just Free?
Free Gift Church Road.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm at the wrong end of it. Sorry. So between Isham Springs and Edmond Road. Okay.
That's right.
Are there any houses out there?
Yes. If you're headed from Edna Moore, on the right hand side of the road is a field owned by, GB&M's Cofield. On the left hand side is where you have your houses. Now, once you pass probably the first mile, because I think we've asked to do, 1.72 miles, it can be trimmed down to 1 mile.
And I went to do.
Because we ended it at Isham Springs, so we could actually bring it back closer to where the houses are and let it transfer back to there. Because there's one house, there might be between where I want to end it, there might be two, maybe 3 houses. Or the other thing is we move it to the next list.
So. Free Gift Road. That's a
Small road.
So it would be paved up to Spencer,
No,
or whatever.
other way around.
And that is that I guess if people understand that once you pay it, you gotta waste it.
I've tried to explain that to them.
Would it be kind of like the one that was done on 17 as
Yes.
far as the width?
Yes. If I had a recommendation right now, I mean, just to tell you what roads I would leave on there. Because Kelly Farm, Evergreen, and Free Gift are currently ACS roads, and they're not in disrepair. So you can travel down as you would any gravel road. I'm more concerned with the conditions currently of Nichols Car, Big Ditch, Pine Crest, and Arthur Cooper. Pine Crest Drive. So, and I say that because Arthur Cooper and Pinecrest are in a neighborhood off Highway 117. They've never been resurfaced, and the neighborhood's been there since the 70s. They are in pretty dire need of resurface. Now, there's other roads in that neighborhood, but I have broken them up as we've done most neighborhoods, so not one section's getting all of it.
So I'm just gonna say this, and I don't know if it's true or not true, but in my attending county board meetings long ago before being commissioner, people were always complaining about nobody doing anything with any of the roads in District 1. That was going on and on. So when I became commissioner, you were thinking maybe somebody would get some roads done now. So that, I think there was a lot of, that's what's been inherited here.
Oh, I
Years
completely
of the other roads getting attention. Not that just for whatever.
Well, you're still gonna be well over budget, even when cutting down Nichols and Carr, so what, do we have money to?
So in T-Splosh, we tentatively, as of June 30th, we have $1.2 million.
So,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Sharon, I was just thinking out loud.
No, go ahead.
I was just wondering, I mean, if we're gonna knock off a mile off Nichols and Carr, what's your best guess? I mean, I guess it's, so we know about what it would come in at.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that 706, I mean, I was just going I was going to take an average, you know.
It's gonna be about $300,000 over budget from what I'm looking, I mean, like, that's a big guess.
I've come up with 1.4 million.
I was right. It's gonna be about 300 over. Is that something we could use a T-Splosh for? What do you think, Sharon?
Okay, so you said there's 1.2 billion in T-Splosh, but we've been using that T-Splosh here in that 1.2 for a little while. So what other things have been semi-obligated to? Can we,
So nothing other than the $13,000 that was obligated money, nothing is obligated to.
okay,
I've used it to, you know, because it's like if like you can use it for road repair equipment. So I mean, if we buy motor grader blades, I mean, but you're talking a couple $1,000. You're not talking anything that's a substance there.
I think T-Splosh is over 300,000 out of 1.2 billion.
I agree.
Okay.
Now, we'd like to address the elephant here. We've taken District 3 and District 4 completely off, and here we are, District 2 and District 1 commissioners sitting here around this table.
Well, and so we're about to jump on some. So like if we said Kelly Farm Road, Evergreen, and Free Gift, we would circle back around to and that will bring us back. But I mean, so what I'll do is I'll communicate with the engineer to change the ending. Say these are roads we want. Send me some new estimates for Nichols Car, and then I'll apply for that. But what we'll do then at the next meeting, once I have all that back, I'll move forward, presenting to the board, recommend using, make up the difference with T-Splosh. And, which funds are available for that. So
On free gift, do you see any way to make it's 1.72 miles? I know we just talked about it. I can't, my eyes hurting, stuff. Sharp pains going through. Is there any way to cut that cost down, like the way you talked about?
yeah, I can trim,
Less-
I can do less there.
Would it make sense to do that?
Move it to another project.
So you're saying that if we pave it, your concern is like it making it a racetrack? Is that's the one, like people are just gonna zip down it because it's so straight. Who was requesting for this to be paid? The people that live there?
One person in particular, and that's Lonnie Lewis.
Does he understand that paving is gonna probably cause more problems than?
Talked to him about it,
But he's one of like
but
10,
yeah,
12, 5 homes.
correct. It's probably
Dozen.
probably less than a dozen.
Less than a dozen. Wonder what, I wonder what Jeffrey's input or thoughts would be on that.
Well, I spoke to him when I was listening, asking for any roads in his district that he thought, and you know, I mean, that was the only, you know, he could see that, but that was the only thing he saw. Because we did pave some stuff in District 4, and we just paved a portion of MLK, and then they also got all of Peabody Heights paved recently. We did aggregate course surface Steel Road. So I mean, there's been activity in there. So, I mean,
I just didn't want,
yeah.
I just didn't want us to knock them off,
right.
and that's fine. We can put these on, I'm fine with it.
And there's been times when there hasn't been all the districts. But Peabody Road, isn't that in the city?
Peabody Heights.
Oh, okay.
That neighborhood that with CDBG. So we did take those, Liberty and, all the other Congo and all those. All right, well, that gives me some answers on that to move forward with.
You don't seem pleased.
No, that's completely fine. I mean, I think that's what we need to do, and I think that's a good use of that T-Splosh money.
Okay, so are we gonna do free gift? Or
I
not?
think he was gonna look at it and see what. cutting it
Yeah,
down
I'll see
or
what cut
put it
down
on
is.
another
I mean, but
project.
cause as it stands right now, if we're talking about, $300,000 of T-Splosh money, that's about 6 months. Well, excuse me, that's about 5 months of discretionary money that we get. So that's how long it would take to recoup that money. That would, see it build back up.
Okay, well, I'm good with what you said. I wanted to understand.
So that is it. All right. So I have received correspondence today, and so we can make some changes to this list. A new list. And this is
We're
the
killing
20.
two birds with one stone here.
Yeah. So now we're in
Is
the.
this information?
Oh yes, this is a blank canvas. So this is
What's in here?
the 2027 LD. We have been awarded $1.159 million. There is a match of 10%, which would give our roughing those numbers of total project required of $1.3 million. And so these are the roads that I have identified that previously. So, I mean, obviously we would need to carry, if we're interested in doing some of these roads that we just took off the LRA, we can add those in there. So it just so happens we've removed potentially 3, and I have 3 extra spots on the bottom. So
These are all ones.
it's default.
Okay, thank you. You said
I
that.
won't, these probably are all in district.
They probably are,
I won't,
but I hadn't changed.
Chicken Road. Unless you're gonna put it on a different kind of.
So just to let you know, Chicken Road would be the only road we'd be able. That's what that project would cost. So what I would suggest is we know T-Splosh is about,
Not the whole Chicken Road. You're talking about Chicken Road just from Matthew Jones's to Highway.
from Cook to the county line. So, come on.
To the county line.
I'm gonna say
That's
Gum
correct.
Swamp Ridge. I'm gonna say, I would start at Gum Swamp Bridge. Yeah, I think you're probably talking 4 miles right there. Probably 4 miles.
Oh, it's not 4 miles long. Which direction are you going?
Back to the county line.
To the Blakely County line?
Mhm.
From Matthew Jones's house?
And I don't know where he lives. I'm talking about Gum Swamp Bridge.
Where's no talk? You talking about, no, I'm not talking about from the bridge.
Well, the reason I say that's where the potholes are at.
I'm talking about from where Roddy meets Frank Cook, the crossroads.
I mean,
I
I'm
just
talking about the bridge right on the other side of that.
Okay, I just want from there to the county line paved.
Okay, it's probably 3 miles.
You think?
All right, then when I am accurate, I want you to send me some flowers.
Okay, so what
Mark,
project are we
Mark.
putting that on? Because it has to be done. Like it really does have to be done.
Oh, I completely agree.
It doesn't have to be done right on this one, but we just need a future plan for it.
Yeah.
Future plan.
But
I'm good with a future plan.
Chicken Roads, we've been kind of putting that off because there's some work being done with the bridge.
Right.
But then after the bridge,
We need to move on. So here's what we'll do. Why don't we do this? Why don't we add it here and get it estimated? And then we'll know.
Then
where-
we'll know. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
And you're right, there are some potholes to the Gum Swamp Bridge, but it really needs to be paved from the crossroads.
The only reason I say that, because at least at that bridge, you've got a concrete apron where the transition would be from pavement to pavement, and just, it would keep it from tearing up as bad as you're trying to.
Haven't y'all paved that recently or not? You have the years past.
It's not, I have not been here when it was paved, but I think it was done on a T-Splosh project, because they pretty much did from Cook Road to the Barnes County line.
They did, because that's where I grew up out there, and they paved the whole thing. And the other part of the road is in decent shape.
Yeah, I mean, just potholes here and there. I mean, that's nothing major.
Right.
But the only reason I would say the bridge is just got some potholes there, but also you got a clean edge at that bridge, so you wouldn't have a transition. Okay, that's my recommendation. Now so I'm starting the bridge and go what okay. All right. Now you see Jim Pruitt Road in there. I only had one person comment, but I told him I put on the list. What they've asked is for it to be aggregate core surfaced from the end of pavement to Gum Swamp Road.
okay, so I don't know what to do with this, but I'll share with you. There's people come up and say they don't want that done.
And so I'm completely fine with that. I think I I don't think it needs to be done. It's not highly traveled enough.
I have said, there's no sense in spending money on it.
And right now you have to build the road up too, because right there where the pavement is, the reason the pavement is there is because you've got that branch that runs through there.
Yeah.
And it's designed to be a runaround. So when the water does rise, it runs around, kind of like on Old Yonker Road.
Yes, and I can tell you from experience, they begged for this on Old Bethel, and it has been nothing but a problem.
Yeah.
Like I would really, until you can poll your constituents, and if they're don't want it, then don't do it.
Anyway, there was only one person that seemed to want it, and I
Yes.
don't know, I just, wow, that's a new one.
I'm not familiar with any of these other ones
Okay.
except Amanda Drive.
So Pine Road is inside of that neighborhood where we just did Arthur Cooper and Pinecrest Drive.
Can I back up to Jim Pruitt? Did you just scratch it off?
I did.
Or can you push it like down the road, way down, so I can
Yeah,
say it's on the list?
Yeah, I can push it. Yeah,
It's on the list.
but yeah, it just has a line to it at the moment.
Okay, just saying.
Yeah, I won't
I
scratch
would
it.
say we're a few years back, and we are.
There's
Years
too
back.
much, there's too much to do to make that real pavable. I'm having fun with it. I won't work it like that.
Okay, Arthur Cooper needs to be stricken off of this list because we just got it on the LRA, so I
We're
apologize.
done with that.
Yeah, Arthur Cooper's gone. So Gerald Drive, Elm and Pine are in that same neighborhood with Arthur Cooper and Pinecrest. Now, I put those on there because every road in that neighborhood needs to be done. So I'm not saying it has to be done on this project. I just put them on there so they're fresh on my mind. So if there's something that we could do the same thing and move some of them down. Now, Pine Road is the next one from Highway 117 that runs parallel. So it runs perpendicular to the ones we just,
These are the ones we rode the other day. Some of them,
no, ma'am.
Shady Acres.
No, ma'am.
Oh,
These
that
are,
was Shady Acres.
yes, well, no, that was Shady, we wrote Shady Acres. These are on Highway 117, right past the Georgia Power substation. So I can tell you people that live in that neighborhood, maybe, so Billy Hartley lives up there, Cheryl Beard lives over there.
A beard.
Oh, are you talking about My Trips Beach?
That's real weird. So if you're going out to the rec department,
Yes.
when you get, there's a big substation on the left,
Yes,
right before Jennifer Noble's house.
yes,
It's the road right up, it's a paved road, starts right that neighborhood, right in front of Jennifer Noble's house.
I gotcha.
So, Keith Edge was back there. Billy Hartley's probably one of the biggest people that have the most land back there. The lady that talked about Cody Road, probably her daughter lives in this neighborhood too.
Okay.
So we've had a few phone calls with them about that, particularly Pine Road, because they had one.
Just one?
So,
I should have brought
if-
in some car with chicken.
so if I had to make a suggestion of, I was gonna keep one of these roads on there, it would be Pine Road at this time. The other ones can be moved.
So, I mean, you could say that. We'll do one road per project in that neighborhood so that we can spread out and do it in other neighborhoods.
So,
Unless, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's. I'm good with any of it.
I'm good with that, moving those two. All right,
Well, maybe I'm in the wrong neighborhood, but it looks like Arthur Cooper's in the neighborhood,
it is.
Pinecrest Drive.
It is. Those are two that have run perpendicular with Highway 117.
Yes, but Pinecrest Drive is, oh, so
We did it on the
I
LRA.
see. Okay, and then Edgewood's on this list.
And that's what I'm saying. We'll keep Pine and we'll move the other ones. So that way we're doing one road in there. And so,
Got it.
that brings us to Shady Acres. And the question is, do we attack that project as a CDBG or do we attack it as, on the LBA?
So the CDBG part,
We
does
can
do-
attack that.
it'll do the roads too, road surfacing?
And do roads, I mean, they do all improvements.
What do you think the chances are that happening?
I feel pretty good about it. But, now, of course, what the regional commission is going to do first is check median income of that area to see if it qualifies. So, and I'll give you an example. So we did pay Peabody Heights in order to get bonus points for the curb and gutter and water, infrastructure there. The difficulty we ran into, was since we already had it, when we paved the roads, it changed the elevations
Mhm.
for the curb and gutter. And so it was easier to pour the curb and gutter and then lay your asphalt and spread it out to the lip of the curb and gutter. We did it the opposite way. It was a little more, it had a little bit more of complications due to that, but I mean, it will work. But I think when you look at the project we did in Peabody Heights, I think this is on a scale of at least half, if not a third of the scope of that project. So I think we'll be okay with that, application.
Okay, so basically, and who helped put in the application last time?
So we used the regional commission,
Mhm.
did that, and the engineer firm that, worked on it for us was Carter and Sloop.
Okay, because the only one I remember is the one Karen had.
That was it. That's exactly,
That was the same one.
that's the one I'm talking about. That was the last one we did on that program.
That's been a little while.
So it was completed 2 years ago. We tried and tried. We kept applying every time. And then the last time after the second attempt, we changed the engineer group and we were forward.
Okay, plus also change the outline.
Yes, that's exactly what we did.
Okay, and you feel good about it.
Yeah, I feel good about that project.
Does it get in the way, if we use the CPG to do that, is that going to get in the way of anything else that might be useful for the CDBG to apply to? That's not tied to this. I'm just making sure we're not stepping on something else we might need. Like that one.
I can't think of anything that would qualify, but I think that would be a great question to ask. And I think we have the time. I think it'd be a great question to ask the regional commission at the August 3rd meeting. That's a great question for them. Because once we finalize this, we're not gonna have the estimates back before that meeting anyway, so we can always add it back in there.
So, I don't think I imagined this, but I believe it was Bob. I'm not sure. Somebody made a comment about it regarding CDBG, and then by the time we finish doing that, thing I'm running into, he said he'll try to take it.
Correct.
I don't know.
As it stands right now, there is not a parcel that the city of Eastman has that is contiguous to any parcel in there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna worry about that.
And I think the residents out there would fight that. Victory made that apparent, but
Okay. I think that's a great idea, CDBG. Assuming that in the interim, that pipe is,
yes.
we get the
so-
water flow, because you've done a great job of taking care of things in that other neighborhood.
Yes, so, and I'll tell you, let me give you an update. So after we talked about the pipe, so I called the Richards, said, don't forget, let me know the band. They've ordered band, the way the band's gone. And so that is what connects to your
Oh,
pipes. So we've got the pipes, we just don't have the band, so.
Oh, that's,
And then
so short answer, yes, CDBG.
and then we run into, and then, so now we're gonna run into the Lakeview neighborhood, which would be the 24th, 25th, 26th, Amanda Drive and Sanders Drive. So
Does that
here,
go on the Christmas? Little kid in this.
right?
Remember the movie?
I thought you were talking about the light, hanging the Dutch Christmas lights on Amanda Drive.
No, the Christmas movie.
Oh,
I feel like
Amy
a
Morton.
home alone or whatever it was, left alone or whatever.
So,
Left behind.
you know, look, it's not going, I mean, we're gonna pay to get them estimated.
Mhm.
But when I think once we have the estimates back, we can do the same thing we just did with Delaware. Because in my opinion, it's more important to get the ones perpendicular, which would be the avenues first, and then you can worry about the cross streets if we had to break it apart.
And see, let me give you some insight on that subdivision. It's been there, actually, it's two subdivisions to connect together. They've been there a while. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna say maybe since the 80s, 70s, 80s.
I'd say like 7 days. Yeah.
I don't know. Excuse it. The infrastructure, they're paved. The infrastructure underneath is Georgia Power, underneath the roads, Georgia Power and the city water. And I think in some places it's gas line.
That's probably accurate.
Okay. So you had three, I don't know if the gas line is under the road or close to the road, but there's three utilities that are constantly out there doing some kind of dig and repair. And that's what's creating a lot of problems. They're not complaining about that because they're patching them okay. The issue is the roads are starting to fall apart in various places. If you walk it, you can see it because I gave you a souvenir on it.
Yes, I did.
My name is for Aubrey Porter, used to live out there. And, Faye and Gina Howell used to live out there.
Cindy Green lives there. That neighborhood.
She was on there.
Yeah, that's there. So it's all connected. There's two subdivisions there, but there's some area that's wet. So the road where the wet is, I guess, the grass and all really encroached into the road. So the road size, it needs a lot of cleanup, but cleaning it up. It needs pavement. The thing about it is, I'm not saying not to do it. It needs it. It's just those utilities are under there. So there's patches over the utilities and no one's complaining about the patches, except in some cases where they did that job. Or where they caved in or whatever. But there's a lot of cracks and zippers where the road's so old since the 70s. It's just falling apart. So if you were to pave it, it wouldn't be the real, what kind of pavement?
Asphalt. Definitely asphalt.
But you would be spending the kind of money it takes to do the two levels of which.
So yeah, I mean, you're gonna have a leveling agent and then a super pave on top of it.
All right. So
But it wouldn't be, we wouldn't do that as a, like a triple surface trigger or double
Okay,
surface.
that's what I was wondering. And to their point, given the status of the road, Staley Road, it's just, it's not gonna be long, but you're gonna have big potholes. Where the road, the age of the road is creating all these cracks and zippers and stuff. I call them zippers, I don't think. And roots, tree roots. There's a couple tree roots that cause some problems.
And I don't expect, I mean, because I'm just looking at what we've got estimated back from the LRA, when you look at some of the roads that are in similar condition as a subdivision,
mhm.
you don't have a lot of cost because the base is already there. You know, you're going back in and resurfacing and restriking, you know, whereas, you know, when you do the dirt roads, you got to make sure that a lot of base work has to happen. And that's what drives up the cost. So, I mean, because you look at, and the Kelly Farm Road's half a mile, and then you look at, Pinecrest, 1, 2, no, it's fine, but McCarthy Cooper.
You're saying we
It's-
may be surprised that it's not going to cost them.
It's not going to cost as much as a road that doesn't have surface already.
Oh, that's what I was looking at. Mhm. So I full disclosure, you know, there's a lot of utilities under there and there's potholes that get patched and, you know, they're not complaining about that. It's the other concerns. And so I wrote it with Connor and then I went and walked it. Friday afternoon. And I saw a lot of things I couldn't see writing a lot. So I believe it's time. You know, there's a lot of residents living, you know, paying taxes and stuff like that, and they're now saying we need to have a road paved. It's a pretty dense neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that.
But
Everybody said that, I'll get that list finished and send it to the engineers for that, and I'll have them do that. But the other thing I want to talk about is T-Splosh. So T-Splosh, like, you know, it's supposed to be a 10-year sales tax implemented in, but it, like other SPLOST, had a cap, so it can either go 10 years or until it reaches this amount of money. And what they told us at the regional commission is that it's going to reach its cap before it reaches its time. So they're thinking that it's probably going to be, and I think we're, sure I'm right, the current roads were put on there in 2019, so it had to be at the end of 2020, maybe 21. So we're probably in year 4, year 5 of that tax. They're thinking 6 or 7 years and it's going to be capped. So we'll see another one. Now, one of the roads that's going to get paved in this T-Splosh project that I'm aware of was the WPA road from, I'm assuming Highway 46 all the way out to Parkinson Church Road or Reedy Branch Road. So that would be nice because I'm getting a few, there's potholes showing up in that road. That we patched a few times, but so that road is getting done. It's just the T-Splosh project, which I think Airport Road was that same way. So, and that's what I like to do going forward is when they invite us back to that round table. But you know, when we get that invite, we need to convene and start putting some longer roads in there that are multi-million dollars. To get placed on that agenda. And I'll give you an update on coal patch. So I did talk to Richard today.
Glen Hickman. On the coal patch on Glen Hickman, or just coal patch?
Coal patch in general, because there's a few other ones that I wanted to coal patch, but particularly Glen Hickman. So what we did with Glen Hickman, we just put some dirt in it. I would normally I can put concrete in it, but you got to dig out the pothole a little more than you do with coal patch. Then I've got to close the road down to let it cure.
Yeah.
So there is an issue, but, and then when you also, when you go to repave it, you can't mill it properly. You would asphalt, but
no, you can't remove concrete.
right, you got to bust it up and get it out.
Mm.
So, I called Richard, he talked to Reeves this week. Their plant still is not open in Macon. I have called Scruggs. Scruggs has cold patch available in Cordele, but they do not have anyone at the plant that can load it or weigh it so we can buy it. And this was something else I was going to teach lots of money for. I wanted to buy 20 tons. I wanted to buy enough. So we've got nobody with Scruggs. So I'm going to try that avenue one more time. It's like, hey, it's worth our while to you to send somebody down there just to load it, weigh it, and sell it, and they can go by their own business. But we got that. And then I've also contacted, there's a company that Lawrence County recommended out of Perry. They're called Southeast Emulsions. I contacted them. They are owned by Reeves, and their cold patch comes from the Reeves plant. So they sell all the emulsifiers for asphalt, but not the asphalt itself. So that's everybody in our area does. I mean, we're to the point where we're looking now, we're going out 2 miles. So
The one that can't handle it because they don't have someone to do the weights or whatever. Did they give you a time when they think they might be able to?
and I'm gonna tell you who we talked to. We talked to Chip Mann. And then I also talked to the guys in Cochran from Scrub, and they just don't have it, man. No. It's another meeting.
At 5 o'clock?
So, but but I just want y'all to update y'all there. So if you do get, people asking about why we're putting dirt in potholes, that's why. Just, I don't have any other way to do it as it stands right now. But as soon as I do, I'll let y'all know.
So what's the problem with going more than 2 miles out?
Oh, I'm sorry, 2 hours
Oh,
from where the plants are located.
okay.
It just because not only it just dry. What time it just takes a little while, but if we got to, we will. But
Does that add to the cost?
of course it does. And not only that, but a lot of times we don't already have a counselor, so there's paperwork. So it just takes some time to get it all set up. But we can do it. It's just we were hoping that we were told that Reeves plant would open back up this week. We could go get something. So that's why we checked, and of course they had it. So
Well, you told us, I think you told us this before, somebody couldn't do their measure. I think maybe you just told that to me when we were looking at one subdivision. How long have been this? How long has it
I don't know
been?
what's going on now.
Okay, it would seem to me that he doesn't.
I think the same thing, but because the Scrubs and they are having paving projects, that's just, I guess, having cold patch, it's something they have to do in slow times.
Well, I'm just thinking of where this location is, you take, I'll circle around it, because we're not the only ones
Oh,
paving,
no.
right?
No,
So,
I mean, and it might be worth my while to call Brian and say, hey, can I, Lawrence County, say, can we buy something from you? Do you have enough to sell, or maybe another county has something that would get us by on some of the high priority issues we're having, WPA, Glen Hickman Road. So, well, that's it. That's all I have. Well, I'll adjourn the meeting since we're recording. Leon, what way?